Now, respectfully, up to this point, we've been speaking to you, we've been speaking to Keith, we've been speaking to your conscious mind, your cognitive mind, your head. We've been speaking to the assistant manager. And you know, if you go to a Walmart and you're pissed off and you're not getting the service you want, or there's no trolleys, the assistant manager can't really do anything. It always has to go to the manager. So it makes no sense most of the time to speak to a middleman, because the middleman can't really make real decisions. So respectfully, in a few moments, I'm going to ignore you, at least this version of you, all right? And I'm going to speak to your unconscious, your subconscious, your monkey mind, and it's going to communicate to me, and it's going to communicate a little bit like this. I call this the cobra. So I'm going to get you, not now, but in a few moments. Your elbow is going to be supported on a surface. Mine's on my knee right now, right? I call it the cobra because if I turn my hand to the side, it looks a bit like a cobra head. So as much of my hand that you can see right now, that's what I'm going to ask that I can see a little bit later when I do it with you. What's going to happen is I'm going to respectfully ignore you, because if you could have fixed this consciously with your brain up here, the bit you think you're supposed to be fixing it with, or in it, you would have done it by now. True or false?
True.
So respectfully going to ignore you. However, if you want to watch this consciously, you can. If you think you're going to get in your own way, you can close your eyes. If you really think you're going to get in your own way, like one of my clients called John, he's like, Luke, you don't understand. My mind's really going to get in my own way here. So he closed his eyes and he turned. Whatever you want to do is whatever you want to do. I don't mind.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is I'm going to ask your unconscious, your subconscious, the monkey mind, the child, the body, all different names for the same part, the manager, the CEO. I'm going to ask it to come online, and I'm going to ask it to take possession of your hand, those fingers, that wrist, that forearm, and every muscle, tendon, and ligament in between. You don't have to do anything, but just observe it. Once it's online, I'm going to ask for it to give me, but more importantly, you a sign. There's no expectation here. Whatever happens, happens. All that I ask you to do is allow it to happen. Equally, allow it not to happen. We're just going to see what happens. See if your unconscious wants to come out and play. Your only job is just be open, let it happen. Equally, if nothing happens, that's totally cool as well. And you'll observe it, you'll feel it, and I'll check in with you from time to time just to make sure you're comfortable, you're okay to continue, and what your true experience is in the moment. But right now, your conscious mind can take a little 10-minute break or so. Are you up for it?
Sure, absolutely.
Awesome. So Keith, if you wouldn't mind, with your left hand, make sure your elbow's supported on a sturdy surface. Make sure your hand is relaxed. Now, if I turn my hand to the side, you might be forgiven for feeling it's relaxed. It's not, it's tense. Here's what I mean by relaxed. Soft, soft. And you're just going to have your hand just like that. Then I'm going to speak to the hand. So let it just go super soft, super beautiful, lovely. Keith, is it okay if I ignore you now and speak to your hand?
Yes.
Lovely. And again, you can watch, you can close your eyes, whatever you want. But now, respectfully, Keith, I'm going to ignore you. If I need to check in with this version of you, you'll know, because I'll say, Keith, and I'll ask you questions. But right now, respectfully, I'm going to ignore you, and I'm going to speak to your unconscious, subconscious, your monkey mind. Speaking to you now, Keith, super conscious mind, the unconscious, the subconscious, the monkey mind, the part that beats the heart, the part that breathes the lungs, the part that thinks the thoughts, the part that stores the memories, the part that moves the body, the part that's really in control. I want to speak to you now. Now, listen, I appreciate that maybe no one's ever spoke to you up to this point, so I'm sorry about that. I also want you to understand that I see you. I know how powerful you are. I know that you really run the show. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for you. And my only job here today, or whenever we chat, is I want to help you. I want to better understand you, so you and I can better serve Keith in having a more gleeful life. That's my only intention. So knowing that now, please come online and take possession of that hand, those fingers, that skeletal system, the tendons, the ligaments, the muscles, the veins, the space, the air, and everything I'm forgetting to say in that hand, that forearm. That's right. And when you come online, if you wouldn't mind showing me that you're online in a way that I can see, that's right, in a way that Keith can feel, I'd like for you to involuntarily move a finger, a thumb, a wrist, up or down, left or right, any way that you want, just to show me that you're online. Keith, keep doing what you're doing. Great. Because there's a lighting thing that's going on with the side of your hand. Is your little finger moving right now?
Yes.
Thank you. Can I get you to bring your hand in just a little bit more? Because it blurred and I wasn't seeing your little finger. Thank you so much. Are you okay if we continue?
Yes.
Thank you. Keith's unconscious. Thank you so much for showing me that you're online. Listen, I appreciate you're really busy. You got a lot of stuff that you got to do in Keith's neurology, his mind and body. So thanks for taking some time out to communicate with me today. Really do appreciate how strong and powerful you are. If you wouldn't mind, and if it's okay with you, could I ask that you take more possession of the muscles, tendons, ligaments, fibers, skeletal system in that hand, that forearm, and slowly but deliberately start to twist and rotate and move and pivot as far around to face Keith's face as you feel comfortable. That's right. Twisting, turning, moving, winching further and further around towards Keith's torso in a way that feels right for you. That's all right. It's twisting, it's moving, and you can keep twisting Keith's hand around as far as you feel comfortable. And even as you do that, I'm going to speak to the other version of Keith now. Keith, can you feel that?
Yes.
Keep your hand where it is, but open your eyes, look at your hand. Did you move that consciously to make me happy, to play along?
No,
It just
absolutely
happened?
not. Absolutely not.
Are you okay if we continue?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Keith's unconscious. Thank you so very, very much. Really appreciate it. Listen, like I say, I know you're really busy, so thanks for taking some time out with me today. And I acknowledge how strong you are and that you really control everything. Certainly not me, certainly not Keith's consciousness. You're the one that makes him breathe. Otherwise, every night he'd go to bed. Actually, the first night that Keith went to bed and slept as a little baby, he would have died because his conscious mind's offline. But you kept him breathing every night, even when his conscious mind was offline. So thank you for that. If you wouldn't mind, and if it's okay with you, would you mind just giving Keith a little wave just to kind of say hi to him? That's right. Very good. Keith, did you feel that?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Are you okay if we continue?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Hey, Keith's unconscious, subconscious monkey mind. Thank you so very, very much for listening to me and playing with me today. I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, if it's okay with you, would you return that hand to the start position so the fingers are facing away from Keith towards me, towards the computer or the phone that we're speaking now? That would be lovely. That's right. Very good. Very good. Beautiful. Keith, I'm speaking to you now. What does this experience feel like for you?
I'm going to say out of body, for lack of a better. It's
Are you okay if we
quite,
continue?
yes.
Excellent. All right, lovely. And is it fair to say you don't feel hypnotized right now?
No, I don't feel hypnotized. No.
Let your hand do what it does. Just open your eyes, look at your hand. If you're not hypnotized, what's happening with your hand right now? Look at it.
I know. I don't know.
Does it almost feel that you're not controlling it, at least consciously?
I'm not doing any of that twitching.
Awesome. Are you okay if we continue?
Yes.
Cool. You're doing great, by the way. Keith's unconscious. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. What I'd like for you to do now is, if you wouldn't mind just settling down to a comfortable point with that hand so it can just be still temporarily, because I'm going to ask you some questions in a moment. These questions only require a yes or a no. And I'm going to ask you these questions and you're going to answer yes or no so I can better understand you and help Keith.